Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. We love the idea of courage being bold and loud and, we're running into battle and we're standing tall in front of a crowd, we're taking the big leap. But the truth is, the most courageous moments in life often happen when no one is watching. It's those quiet decisions, the decision to rise again after you've been knocked down or feel broken. When I coach people recovering from burnout, grief, loss, disappointment, I often remind them there's no courage like the courage it takes to start over. To look at what's left of your energy, your faith, your plans, and still choose to take one small step forward. The first 2 years of my burnout, I wrote in my journal every day. And when I read it now, I realize firstly just how sick I was. And I'm so thankful for who I am and where I am today and the recovery journey I took. For months, I wrote nearly every day about how it was all over. My ministry had ended, my life was so difficult and challenged, and how God could no longer use me. I felt disqualified. Not because I did anything wrong or fell from grace, as they say, or anything like that. There was no crises or conspiracy or bad behavior. I actually broke down. I burnt out. I got sick. And because of it, I couldn't go on. And courage was hard to find. I had just enough to try each day again, to get through another day, to trust God a little more. Of course, I walked, pondered, and prayed. And I often did that even when courage was gone. And I guess that's where the real courage begins. Not in the adrenaline rush to succeed or success, but in the slow building of trust. Trust in yourself again, trust in others, and of course, trusting in God's plan. The Bible says in Isaiah 43:19, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you perceive it?" And it's this new thing that we need to constantly remind ourselves that God's reminding us that He's not done with us. Things aren't finished. Even when the pages of our story feel torn and unreadable, He's still writing something new. And that's the essence of beginning again. It's not pretending the past didn't happen. It's choosing to believe that what broke you doesn't have to define you. Author Brené Brown says, you can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you can't choose both of them. It is uncomfortable starting again. In fact, it's scary at times, but I want to tell you that it's worth it. When we think about nature, we think about the bushfires, particularly here in Australia. The ground looks dead after a bushfire, charred trees and ash and silence. But underneath that ash, the blackness, seeds are waiting. In fact, some seeds only sprout because of the fire. They need the heat to crack open their shells. And maybe that's what courage looks like for you right now. Maybe your fire moment, your burnout, your grief, your loss wasn't a full stop, but a seedbed. For more than 20 years, I poured my heart into pastoral care. I have sat with thousands of people through life's journeys. And all through those years, a quiet dream lived inside me. I longed to become a registered professional counsellor who could walk with people through the kind of pain that leaves you gasping for air. When I burned out, everything around me collapsed. My strength, my identity, my confidence. It felt like the fire that swept through my life destroyed everything and took away every plan I'd ever made. Yet, what I did not see at the time was that the seed that I longed for burst open under the extreme heat. The season that nearly ended me was the same season that awakened something new in me. The dream I carried for more than 2 decades cracked open in the furnace of my breakdown. And now, 10 years later, I stand in a place that I only once imagined. I have my own counseling practice. I am a registered professional counselor. I walk with people through their grief and their trauma. I sit beside people in their sorrow and I help them find hope again. I work with clergy, ministers, pastors, reverends from all over the world who are also experiencing breakdown and burnout challenges. I help people who are doing great to do even greater. It's awesome. And that dream that lived inside me for so long is now my everyday reality. And every time I meet with someone in their pain, I'm reminded of this truth. What looks like an ending can be the beginning of the very thing you were created to do. When I began working with leaders again after my own season of collapse, I noticed something pretty powerful. Those who really and truly recovered, they didn't rush. They don't try to rebuild their old life. They start from a deeper place, a place of alignment, not achievement. They realize that beginning again doesn't mean going back. It means walking forward, lighter, wiser, more grounded. And if you're in that place today, here's something I would encourage you to reflect on. What are you holding onto that belongs to a past season? Maybe it's an identity, a title, a dream, or even a version of faith that no longer fits who you're becoming. Sometimes courage means letting it fall away so that the new can emerge. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind." I guess that's an easy quote to read, but when things are going well, but it's harder and holier when you say it through tears, when you're unsure of what comes next. So if you're standing at a crossroad, exhausted, uncertain, I encourage you to remember this. You don't need to have it all figured out to begin again. You just need to take one courageous step in the right direction. And really, that's how recovery begins. That's how faith grows. That's how you rebuild life. One brave step, one honest prayer, one moment of trust at a time. And maybe, as the old U2 lyric says, it's a beautiful day, don't let it get away. Because no matter how broken yesterday was, today still holds the possibility of beauty. And maybe, just maybe, that's what courage really is. The quiet conviction that your story isn't over.